leader of opposition in MP, Umang Singhar, has now demanded the resignation of Vijay Shah. That's the latest that's coming in. Viewers, remember, political pressure now building up against Vijay Shah, who's been reprimanded by the top court of the country today for his comments against Colonel Qureshi. Harish, go on. This of course comes amid the political pressure, but listen in first to what Umang Singhar has said, and then I'll come back to you, Harish.
देखिए, मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले का स्वागत करता हूं, जिसके माध्यम से ये कह सकता हूं कि एक सेना के सम्मान के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट की एक पहल रही। लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार, केंद्र की सरकार चाहे मध्य प्रदेश की सरकार हो, कोर्ट जाग गया, लेकिन आप लोग नहीं जाग रहे। तो तत्काल विजय शाह का इस्तीफा होना चाहिए और इस पे कार्रवाई होना चाहिए।
Now, the opposition is using this to draw parallels and contrast with the fate of Ali Khan Mahmoodabad, an associate professor at the Ashoka University. He has, remember, been arrested in connection with a social media post about Operation Sindoor following a complaint filed by a BJP Yuva Morcha leader. A section of Mahmoodabad's now deleted post reads, and I quote, "The optics of two women soldiers presenting their findings is important, but optics must translate to reality on the ground. Otherwise, it's just hypocrisy," unquote. The question that is now being asked is differential treatment being accorded to two people despite the charges being similar? Insult to women in uniform.
Now I'm finding that, just because certain people who say certain things belong to a particular religion, action is being taken, because the kind of words for which they say he's being punished. There are a number of people who've been posting, X or Twitter posts or other posts from many other people who don't belong to this gentleman's religion, who said almost exactly the same thing, in fact, things even worse than this. Of course, there's nothing wrong in this, but things that could be objectionable. And no action is being taken against those people.
समाजवादी पार्टी समझती है कि को एक पोस्ट प्रोफेसर अली द्वारा की गई थी, जिसको वो पूर्व में ही डिलीट कर चुके थे, और उनकी गिरफ्तारी हो जाती है, लेकिन मध्य प्रदेश में आज तक कोई गिरफ्तारी नहीं होती। तो ये सवाल ज़रूर है सामने कि जो लोग सत्ता से जुड़े हुए हैं वो कुछ भी बोलते हैं और वो बच जाते हैं, उन पे कोई सवाल नहीं उठता है, और जो विपक्ष में हैं वो कुछ लिख देते हैं और अगर अपनी गलती को स्वीकार करते हुए उस पोस्ट को डिलीट भी कर लेते हैं तो भी उनकी गिरफ्तारी हो जाती है।
All right, Madhya Pradesh Congress leader KK Mishra is on the phone line with us on Times Now. KK Mishra जी, आपका रिस्पांस जो आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने विजय शाह जी को बोला है, उनको रेप्रिमांड किया है।
देखिएगा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपने वर्डिक्ट में स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि जो विचार वीडियो में पूरे देश में मंत्री जी के पोस्ट हो रहे हैं या हुए हैं, वो देशद्रोह के समकक्ष हैं। भारतीय सेना और देश की जनता का जो रुख है उसके विपरीत है, उन्हें माफी नहीं दी जा सकती है। तो यह कोर्ट ने स्वीकार कर लिया है कि वो एक अक्षम्य अपराध है। अब एक और बड़ी बात कोर्ट ने की कि जो एसआईटी बनेगी उसमें मध्य प्रदेश के आईपीएस नहीं होंगे, यानी मध्य प्रदेश की पुलिस पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी विश्वास किया है। यह एक बहुत गंभीर घटना है, और जब स्वीकार कर रही है सुप्रीम कोर्ट यह अक्षम्य अपराध है, तब भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपना रुख स्पष्ट क्यों नहीं कर रही है? भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने मंत्री जी को क्यों माफ किया हुआ है?
जी, केके मिश्रा जी, धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। My colleague Govind is also with us on the broadcast. Govind, we are showing our viewers how the Apex Court has reprimanded Vijay Shah today. Of course, on the other hand, you've got the Ashoka University professor who has been arrested for what he said in a social media post. But as far as this entire political controversy is concerned in Madhya Pradesh, what's the latest that you're picking up?
Yeah, you know that for last 1 week, in fact, this is whole controversy we are witnessing. Everybody is condemning. The statement was delivered by this minister, Vijay Shah, who is running underground. In fact, for last 2 or 3 days, we have been contacted him on phone, but his phone is out of reach and switched off, in fact. And now today, Supreme Court has ordered, in fact, for constituting an SIT comprising a lady officer in that. So that is somewhat we can understand a kind of setback for the state government. As you know, Congress is just having lots of ammunition to attack on the state government, asking for the certain resignation of the minister who is having very serious charges of being anti-national and all. In fact, you know how High Court or Supreme Court are quite tough on, in fact, on this statement of the minister Vijay Shah. But tomorrow, in fact, a crucial day. Tomorrow there's a historical cabinet meeting of Mohan government in Indore. So let's see whether this cabinet meeting will be joined by Vijay Shah or not, because Congress party is saying that BJP or Mohan government hasn't any ethical right, in fact, to join to make joining of this minister in that cabinet meeting. So let's see that whether Vijay Shah will come to join that cabinet meeting, because he is facing charges, in fact, which are quite serious one. His FIR has already been lodged against him in Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh. But we are trying to connect minister regarding this decision of the Supreme Court, but he is still unconnected. His phone number is still switched off.
All right, Govind, thanks very much for joining us at the moment, getting us all those details. Madhya Pradesh Minister Vijay Shah, who came in for both reprimand and relief from the Supreme Court of India today. The Apex Court granted Vijay Shah protection from arrest, but slammed the cabinet minister for his remarks against Indian Army officer Colonel Sofiya Qureshi. Rejecting the apology extended by the minister, the Supreme Court came down heavily on the MP. In fact, the minister accusing him of shedding crocodile tears to wriggle out legal proceedings. The SC also said that the entire nation is in shame due to Vijay Shah's statement. Supreme Court has now formed an SIT comprising 3 senior IPS officers, including a woman officer from outside Madhya Pradesh, to probe the MP minister's remarks. The SIT will submit a status report on the outcome of the investigation, and the next hearing will be on the 28th of May. My colleague Harish is joining us with more on this. Harish, what exactly transpired in the court today? Relief for Vijay Shah, but a lot of stern words also coming in from the Apex Court.
Yes, that's right. In fact, Shreya, the Supreme Court has indeed given him relief, saying that no coercive action or he cannot be arrested, but has slammed him for the crass and very abusive language, saying that a constitutional authority like a minister cannot be, should not have uttered such words. And it has put to shame the entire country. He represents, he said that even the crores of people, Indian people, have been ashamed at the words he has uttered, and also questioned why the Madhya Pradesh government, despite registering an FIR on the orders of the High Court, has not taken any action so far, and therefore to instill a sense of free and fair probe, the Supreme Court has very significantly ordered formation of an SIT comprising of all officials from outside, chosen from outside the state of Madhya Pradesh, including a woman representative in the SIT, and a free and fair probe has to be ensured. The Supreme Court was not ready to agree to listen to the argument of Vijay Shah that he was misquoted by the media, and also he was not given a chance to, he was not given a hearing by the High Court before ordering an FIR, and the fact that he had apologized. The Supreme Court very clearly asked him what kind of apology is this after speaking such crass language not expected from a public representative like a state minister. So very significantly now a probe will be done by a SIT as to the circumstances under which he made such a statement, and also the inaction by the state government. Supreme Court repeatedly questioned why, despite lodging of an FIR, there was no follow-up action, and now the matter will be heard in a month's time, In fact, by May end, 26th, the SIT will have to submit a preliminary
Harish.
inquiry report. By tomorrow 10 a.m. is the time when the SIT has to be formed. By 10 o'clock tomorrow, the SIT has to be formed. And Supreme Court coming down very heavily on Vijay Shah.
Absolutely, Harish. Harish, stay with me.